Illena Armstrong, and I'm the president of the Cloud Security Alliance. And I'd like to welcome you to our annual Zero Trust Summit. We're very happy to have you join us for this summit over the next couple of days. Certainly since we launched the Zero Trust Advancement Center and this overarching initiative focused on Zero Trust strategizing, we have really been able to build a very strong collaborative effort that is underpinned and helped along by a number of different experts from various sectors all over the world, like-minded and super supportive of the frameworks, the guidance, all of which we're trying to be very objective and align with other content and releases that have come even before us, so that we really are taking into account other guidance that has been put out there by different experts. And indeed, the steering committee that really oversees this effort and the many working groups and volunteers that we have who are contributing to it on the daily will come from different groups. We have many who actually supported the INSTAC report that was put out by the president's office. They're on our steering committee. And so we're trying to leverage all of the expertise that's out there in the industry to ensure that we're really covering our bases. We're doing it in a vendor neutral way and getting out the guidance and insight that folks are seeking. Indeed, over the last 2-3 years since launching the Zero Trust Advancement Center, we definitely have seen an uptick in organizations and their leaders looking to really adopt a zero trust strategy, a position, so that they can address a number of different issues that are confronting them. Indeed, they're seeing an increased number of cyber attacks that are coming from all walks of life. Certainly AI is definitely helping not only us, but bad actors as well to launch these types of attacks. And then, of course, organizations are continuing their cloud journeys. They're looking to expand and ensure that they have the right cloud service providers and other cloud-based providers supporting their network, as well as, still retaining some remote workers. Certainly, we've been seeing in the news, large organizations are asking some full-time employees to come back full weeks in a physical office, maybe 3 days out of the week. But that doesn't negate the fact that there are organizations like ours where we really do rely on a remote workforce that truly is global. So with all of these contributing factors, definitely the market for zero trust solutions, those solutions that are supporting this type of strategy, is set to grow. And some are predicting that it will be an $80 billion market by 2029. And certainly that leads us to look to our different research working groups that are really based on work streams associated with the 8 pillars that you'll see in the INSTAC report, you'll see from CISA, from DoD, from the White House, so that we are being very thoughtful and methodical in releasing guidance and gaming solutions and you name it, that organizations can put to use in their own companies. We've released a number of reports. You can go on our website and check those out, all associated with this notion of establishing guiding principles, taking into account governance, identity pillars, as well as, the myriad devices on which we're all relying. And then, of course, the applications, the workloads, data security, all of these things have to come into play when you're thinking about this trust but verify, don't trust but verify kind of position. So we have right now close to 800 member volunteers that are supporting the effort. And we have others who are contributing ideas and thoughts through our CSA Circle community. That's close to about 1,400 at this point. And so some of the recent zero trust research releases that we've seen come to this I talked about the guidance, but now we're also looking at different sectors. So guidance for critical infrastructure. We have those founding principles that really help to set the organization's planning for a zero trust implementation that's corporate wide, helps them to understand what they need to be thinking about for this type of execution and ongoing management and oversight. And then asymmetric cryptography to help achieve zero trust objectives. Down the pike, we're definitely taking into account the 5-step process that you see in that NSTAC report. And so for each of those steps in this process, we're releasing very specific guidance. The next one to come out, and it may have already been released, is step 2, and that's mapping the transaction flows. Step 3, which is building a zero trust architecture, is actually in development right now. And then the last 2 steps, creating a zero trust policy and monitoring and maintaining the network, are in the planning stages. We also will be releasing a context-based access control guidance publication, zero trust guidance for SMBs, and then, of course, zero trust to secure enterprise information in large language model environments. And that last one's actually quite important to CSA. You may know, of course, that we have launched our AI safety initiative, and a big part of that will be really exploring this intersection between this zero trust philosophy and how AI will play a role. And then, of course, counter to that, how ZT will play a role in sort of any kind of AI implementations and the security necessary to safeguard those. So it's definitely this notion of cross-cutting themes and sussing out what we need to know and provide to our members, the wider industry, to chapters, et cetera. So all of those are in development now. We're talking to our steering committee members, our working group leaders, to determine just some of the deliverables that we'll want to release in 2025. And this will be a collaborative effort with our AI research working groups as well. We'll continue to create and release the zero trust implementation guidance that we associate with that 5-step NSTAC process. In addition, we are going to be looking to have an overarching kind of primer that then kind of takes all of those steps into account and gives you some other tips and tricks. We'll also continue with SMB guidance, and then look at possibly other sector-specific information that we could provide, as well as any specific frameworks or details we can associate with particular technologies. That is the same with ZT for critical infrastructure. We're hearing from many of our steering committee members that they definitely want to see more focus on some particular sectors, as well as types of technologies, whether it be multi-cloud, cloud native, you name it. So we're working with a number of different entities to support us here, along with CSA members, chapter participants, individual members, and others. So definitely, if you're interested in any of these areas, please reach out and we can get you involved in those work streams. As far as partnerships and upcoming events, we have been working with the DoD for some time now on their virtual Zero Trust Symposium. And as a matter of fact, Jim Rivas and I were in DC just a couple of months ago, meeting with a number of different agencies and other organizations to just talk about different partnerships going forward. And so that ended up being very fruitful, and we'll have more information to share next year on those relationships. We also have been working with ATARC on some of their summits that focus on zero trust, so you'll see more there. And we're talking to a couple of different organizations and corporate members about possibly launching some international zero trust focused events next year. So I definitely encourage you to keep an eye on our events page. And obviously, if you get our newsletters, you're checking out our LinkedIn feeds, you'll see information about all these events and more that you can participate in. Really, the overarching themes that are continuing to drive our efforts associated with our advancement center at this front definitely include AI. And indeed, really now CSA is sort of, we're hearing from folks, and I think it's appropriate. We're sort of focusing on three major pillars. Obviously, cloud and how organizations are embracing it and developing it, and then what sort of factors might change how different countries and regulators view cloud adoption, and monitor data governance and security. Certainly, zero trust is another pillar for us, and absolutely artificial intelligence. It just makes sense given that AI is delivered through cloud services. So we'll want to continue when it comes to our zero trust coverage, really focusing on this notion of international adoption of zero trust and how it can help organizations meet their cybersecurity needs, and protect their data, the crown jewels. We also are thinking about how zero trust can really be foundational to this notion of establishing a posture of resilience for companies, and how that might be associated with our financial services initiative, or even our CXO Trust initiative, and what it means for CXOs to be communicating how zero trust can help a cybersecurity and resiliency posture for organizations, to their boards, to their team members, et cetera. And then finally, establishing architectural guidance to really build and maintain that resilient enterprise environment. So those are some of the guiding principles. AI is definitely playing a role and will be a priority next year when it comes to some of our zero trust releases for guidance. So definitely let us know if you'd like to be engaged there. You can reach out to me through any of these channels. I'm always happy to talk and hold meetings and see where we can go and what suggestions you have. And I'm sure that after the next couple of days, hearing from some of the experts we have lined up for you, you may have some really strong ideas for us. So please reach out and enjoy the next 2 days with us. Thank you.